Good morning. Welcome back or welcome to Yoga with Ciara. I've just been down the garden moving beehives with Josef. So they have to happen before the sun rises, before the bees begin to fly. So we pack up the doorway, we tie them with these big ratchet straps, and then they were up on top of the containers, and Josef had to pass them down to me. So yeah, so that was a lot to do first thing in the morning. So welcome back, or welcome to Dynamic Balance Day 6. Yeah, we're actually going to start balancing using those skills we've been cultivating: feet, legs, torsion, side bending. How do we create balance through our body? How do we counterweight ourselves as we stand? So come lie on the floor and we shall begin. Come. Great, I forgot Facebook. Wonderful. So landing in, arriving in onto your mat, have a sense of the back of your body. Nice. And then just begin to rock your knees from side to side. And as you rock your knees from one side to the other, I just feel the pulls and the drags of you. The, the sensations that are created or inspired, created probably, by the movement you're doing in your body. Can you slow yourself down? You also had a bee suit on, and I didn't have a bee suit on. And I kept saying, "Do I need to wear a bee suit?" And he's like, "No, it's okay." And then bees are flying, and I was like, "Do I need to wear a bee suit?" So I can feel I'm slightly busy because I was out with bees. I just feel that as you rock from side to side, what speed or what momentum are you in the deep of you? Nice. So draw your right knee up onto your chest, squeeze it in, and really just wiggle so that you feel that deep sense of connection between your thigh and your belly. Noticing your neck, noticing your shoulders, and then lengthen long into the left leg and just pause there. So as you squeeze the right knee deeply towards you and lengthen into the left leg, feel for me, there's this big drag and a sense of connection down into the left leg. I can feel the elastic of me being lengthened, or there being stimulus through the elastic of me. And so I'm pushing down into that left heel, and my breath is deepening. Nice. Then begin to travel with that left leg. Draw your left leg up and then lengthen long. And I'm going to continue that sense of how do I widen my toes? How do I stretch into my toes as I create movement with my left leg? Both sets of toes are stretching, left and right. And I'm really leaning into the front of that left thigh as I move. Nice. Drop your left leg to the floor. Bring your left hand to hold your right knee and push your right elbow into the floor. And now twist your right knee over towards the left. And then come back to center. And so, with your hand on your knee, there's a little bit more weight happening into the side of your right hip, into the sacroiliac joint of the right leg. So, just feel that. How is that in your body to travel into the twist and then back out again? Next time you travel into the twist, pause. Feel that spiral. So, your shoulders are on the floor. Your right hip is in the air and your left hip is very solid and weighty into the floor. But how do you feel that spiral in the torso? Left side is long, right side is long, or is it shortening? That's an interesting question. I think my right side is slightly shortening. I think that I'm hiking my hip a little bit. And then I wonder, should I drop my hip? What would happen if I was to try and lengthen that right side or dropping my hip away from me. Interesting. Just deepen your breath into your belly. Cool. So keep everything still and now reach the right hand up towards the ceiling. And then lean so that you're reaching upwards and you've lifted your head and your torso off the floor. So I'm balancing now. And I'm going to drop my right shoulder, drop my right elbow. So how would I reach forward and then come backwards? How do I balance on that left leg as I move my torso? And there's kind of this wobble. As I go up, it's pretty steady. But as I go down, I have less control and I want to fall backwards. One more time. Rising up and then dropping backwards. Nice. Come back to center. Both feet to the floor. I need to shimmy because I feel quite crooked after that. Rock your knees from side to side. Nice. And then draw your left knee up onto your chest, squeeze it in. And really settle in so that you feel that deep contact between your thigh and your belly. For me, there's a sense of a sigh or a deep settling through the hip as I do that. And then lengthen long into the right leg. Again, I feel this pull, this drag that is informing me of I am all connected. There is nothing of me that is not connected to the whole of me. You know, that your knee is connected to your eyebrow, that your elbow is connected to your shoulder, that your foot is connected to your hip. All of those things are absolutely true. You know, you are connected, full stop. Squeeze that left knee closer, lengthening out into the right leg. Deepen your breath into the front of that right hip. Nice. And then begin to travel. Right knee up, right leg long. And I'm opening into my toes and I'm moving like honey. So I'm staying slightly contracted as I move. I have a sense of tone, connection. So as I draw my knee up towards me, I can feel that have a certain feedback or contraction in the muscles. As I draw my knee up, and that's happening a lot from the expansion of my toes. And there's a connectivity that's very interesting. Nice. Drop your right heel to the floor. Hold on to your left knee with your right hand and bring your left elbow to the floor beside you. And then twist your left knee over towards the right. And then come back to center. And I'm encouraging, hoping, endeavoring to keep my left shoulder on the floor. As I rock in, as I come back. So how is that for you? How does that feel to rock over and then to rock back? What parts of you are engaging and what parts of you are challenged? I think engaging and challenge is a continuum. You know, that any movement is engaging until it becomes challenging. So what is the balance between the two? How deeply do you travel towards the right and stay wholesome to be able to come back again? Nice. Next time you travel over, pause. So my left arm, left elbows on the floor. My right hand is resting on the outside of my left knee. I can just feel the weight of that into my hip. I'm wondering again, am I long on the left or am I long on the right? My left hip is telling me something there. So I'm going to bring my, it's telling me a lot. It's going into a cramp. Nice. So you're going to lift the left hand up towards the ceiling and reach up. And then you're going to drop backwards, bring your left elbow to the floor. Reaching up. And so I'm balancing on the side of my right leg. How do I do that? It's like... So traveling up is easier than traveling backwards for me. I have a sense of connectivity in the gesture of up. There's a direction. But as soon as I lose that direction and it's not so clear, I lose the sense of connection. So now I'm going to keep the gesture of up even though I'm going down. That helps a bit. Yeah, that connects me more. Nice. Both feet to the floor. Pull the arms wide. And stretch your legs out long. Stretch your arms out long. Turn your head towards the left. And just feel that through your neck, your shoulders. Just deepen your breath. Feeling into the left side of your face, the left side of your shoulder, the left side of your chest. And just wiggle your toes. Really deepen your breath into the left as you turn your head to the left. Maybe there's a sigh, maybe there's a breath. Nice. Turn the other direction, over towards the right, and deepen your breath into the right side of your body. Maybe there's a sigh, maybe there's a breath, wiggle your toes. Nice, cool. Bring your feet to the floor. And just because we've been doing it all month, squeeze your knees up onto your chest. And then bring your toes to touch the floor lightly and reach your arms overhead. Nice. Squeeze your knees up onto your chest. Maybe you lift your head. Let your toes come and touch the floor lightly and reach your arms overhead. So now you're tapping incredibly lightly with your toe tips. And it's different. Squeeze and long. Squeeze. Toes touch, arms overhead. Squeeze. Touch. Squeeze. Keep your right knee where it is. Lengthen your left leg long. Squeeze. I'm lifting my head as I squeeze. And then I drop my head as I lengthen out into the right leg. Squeeze. Long. Drop your head. One last time. Squeeze. Long. Nice. So roll over and come up into your downward dog. All the way over. Just kind of check my clock. Because I was off. Bringing in the bees. There's things that are slightly less organized. Yeah, great. Nice. So push back into your downward dog. And lift and drop your heels. So lift your heels as high as they go, and then drop your heels as close to the floor as they go. Lift your heels, drop, heels, drop, heels, drop. Well, just feel it. How is it to lift and drop your heels? And then bend your knee, stretch your leg. 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 Good. So bend both knees, bring both knees to the floor, and then bring your right foot forward between your two hands. So one way of doing that is you rise up and you step your right foot forward, and then you bring your hands back down onto the floor. So now lean deeply into that right foot. And as a result, I'm leaning into my left hip as well. Just wiggle your toes. Lift your toes, lift your heel, lift your toes, lift your heel. How do you do it? Nice. Baby toe side, big toe side. So how do you move your foot even though you're compressing into it? Rocking your foot from left to right. And sinking into that. Nice. Tuck your left toe under. Lengthen your left leg. So earlier we were really feeling into the drag and the pull when we lengthened into the left leg. How is that now? Drop your left knee to the floor. Rise up, both hands on your knee, and then reach both arms up towards the ceiling. And then imagine you're just about to lift your left knee off the floor. So I'm pushing my feet into the floor and I'm just about to lift. You don't have to lift, but instead of it being a down movement in the legs, I'm trying to find an up. Like I'm just about to rise up, but I don't have to put the effort of the lift into my leg, but I want to find that connection of rising. Then I'm really pushing into that back knee, pushing into the back foot to bring your knee off the floor. Reach even more up through your fingers. Maybe even try. How would you hover the left knee off the floor and then drop it down, but keep that action of up in your legs. Super. Bring the left knee down to the right thigh and lift your left knee off the floor. So we're back to this movement. We did it yesterday, slightly different. So lean deeply into your hips and then turn your chest towards the right and pull your right elbow back into long more. Maybe you lift your right elbow really high and then reach your right hand up towards the ceiling. See what your shoulder's saying. If your shoulder's saying, oh no, that's too much for me, then bend your elbow or come into long more. You have options and choices as to what you do with your shoulder. Nice. Both hands to the floor and then stretch out through your front leg, bend your front knee. Stretch out through your front leg, bend your front knee. So now you're leaning backwards into the back of your thigh, finding connection. Leaning forwards into the front of your thigh. How do you sense the deep connections from your hip into your foot from the back of your thigh, the front of your thigh, as you rock forwards, as you rock backwards. Nice. Step back, downward dog. Really pull your heels backwards. Super. Drop both knees to the floor. Step your left foot forward. Bring your hands out the side of your left leg. So compress into the left foot. Lean into the front of that right thigh. Nice. Lift your toe, lift your heel. Lift your toe, lift your heel. There's two different versions of lifting your toes. One is that you lift the whole front of your foot. The other is that you only lift your toes. Which version are you doing? Lean a bit deeper. Super. Both hands to your knee, rising up. Reach both arms up towards the ceiling. Tuck your back toe under. And imagine that you're just about to lift the back knee off the floor. You can try, like, how would I lift the back knee up? And then find that sense of engagement of I feel upwards into my fingers from the deep of my hips. Breathing, reaching, rise. How would I find an upward dynamic, a powerful upward movement through the body? Nice. Bring your right elbow forward to your left knee, lift your back knee up, lean into the front of that hip. Breathing powerful into our legs, feeling that sense of strength. You can pull your left elbow back. You can dial in your twist. To dial in your twist, you bring your thumb to the front of your shoulder and you lift your elbow as high as you can, and then you extend up into your arm. For me on this side, I'm going to keep my elbow bent. Lean into your hips, breathe into your belly. Nice. Both hands to the floor, sit back. Down dog. Cool. So bring your right knee forward between your two hands. Come sit into zigzag. Pause. Change. Push back into your downward dog. And then bring your left knee forward between your two hands. Sit into zigzag. Push both hands down. Come back. Right knee forward. Zigzag. So to travel up into my downward dog, I turn towards the front of my mat. I stretch my left leg long and I begin to roll my left toes towards the floor. And then just lift like you're just about to lift your bum off the floor. Just feel, there's a moment where there's a lift, step and foot all the way back. Nice, last one. Bring your left knee forward. Zigzag. Nice. Notice what you do. I stretch out into the right leg. I engage my toes into the floor. Then I begin to roll my hips so they're square to the floor. And then I step back down. Alright, find your heels down towards the floor. Nice. Knees to the floor. Then lie on the floor, all the way down, landing in onto the floor. You can have your knees bent or your legs stretched. Open your arms out so that your palms are facing the ceiling. And just find a moment of pause. Again, a moment of connection. Nice. Lovely. I'll see you all tomorrow. And that was really nice. Great. Ciao, ciao, Islam.